Welcome back, everybody, to another Pop Preview. I'm Alex.
I'm Sean.
And today we're watching the Birds of Prey trailer. Okay, so I'm kind of excited about this. I actually never saw Suicide Squad. It's on my list. You guys know how it goes. The list goes on and on and on, and sometimes it just, you can't get through everything. But, you know, I do like a movie with an all-female cast, and of course I love villains. If you're a fan of the channel, you know this. I love villains so much, so I'm kind of looking forward to this. Yeah,
but I mean, I like villain too, but Harley Quinn is kind of more of an anti-hero than a villain.
Well, of course, if you're going to do an entire movie on a villain, then you have to have a little bit more of an anti-hero spin to it, at the very least.
I mean, even in Suicide Squad, they're villains, but and Deadshot were kind of more of the Will Smith character. Was more anti-hero than villain.
Right, of course.
Because we're rooting for them, even though there are bad guys.
Well, I find that really interesting because I love a disenfranchised character that's misunderstood and gets the short end of the stick and just kind of ends up maybe making the wrong choices, but maybe being forced to make the wrong choice in a lot of situations, or not really being able to make a choice at all. So I really like stories like this, so I'm kind of excited to watch it. And I guess it's a female director, right?
Yes, she's Kathy Yang, I believe. She's kind of a little bit of an unknown, but the last movie she did was kind of did a run in the film festival circuit, so I'm pretty sure that's how they kind of found her. But Margot Robbie was the one that has been pushing this movie hard ever since Suicide Squad. So I've seen Suicide Squad, and I can tell you it's not the best movie. It's very uneven.
That's what I've heard. Well, I mean, I know they had to do a lot of reshoots and.
Yes, they did. Well, pretty much.
It's just a bit of a mess.
David Yates directed one movie, and then WB kind of got scared, and they had to do a lot of reshoots. So it's very uneven. Like, the first part, you're like, oh, yeah, I'm getting into this, and then as it gets to the end, you're like, what's going on? And then...
Oh, no.
It's fine. I mean, the best thing about it that came out of it was Harley Quinn as Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, and Will Smith, Deadshot, came out across good as well, but everybody loved Margot Robbie. Nobody says, like, oh, I don't like her interpretation of Harley Quinn. Everybody loved that. So after that, it was like pushing it hard, like, all right, what are we going to do with Margot Robbie and Harley Quinn? She's like, well, I want to do Birds of Prey. So normally Birds of Prey, she's not involved with that. She's kind of, if she's not with the Joker or Mr. J, as she likes to call him, or put in.
Mr. J.
Mr. J. She's usually with Poison Ivy, and they usually have a thing going on. They even had their own comic run a couple of different times. So usually with Birds of Prey, there's usually like, which we are going to see Huntress and Black Canary. Renee Montoya's in this as well. At one point, Batgirl was supposed to be in this. She was actually in the script, and then she got written out because they were supposed to do a standalone movie with her. Right. And now that kind of maybe has fallen apart. So,
well, we got a TV show.
Yeah. Well, that's Batwoman, but Batgirl is a little bit different. So, curious to see where this is gonna go. I just like the idea of Margot Robbie in something. I'm curious also if the Joker, Jared Leto's Joker, makes an appearance in this. I'm pretty sure we're not going to see him in the trailer, obviously.
Right.
But the idea of him in this universe, him being around, I'm wondering if he's going to pop up. Because Jared Leto has gotten the short end of the Joker stick. He should have been the main villain in Suicide Squad, and he wasn't. He was kind of there as a, he was kind of like, where's Harley? He was trying to get Harley back. So he had a side quest where everybody else was doing one thing. He's like, I'm just trying to get her back. And we're not 100% sure where, once Suicide Squad is over, what the two of them is up to. So I'm curious to see where we kind of pick up, where this movie picks up, and where that leaves him, because he's somewhere out there. Okay.
Well, let's watch the trailer and see what we get.
You know what a Harlequin is? A Harlequin's role is to serve. It's nothing without a master. And no one gives two shits who we are beyond that. The Joker and I broke up. I wanted a fresh start.
Bitter much?
It turns out I wasn't the only dame in Gotham looking for emancipation.
Queen.
She belongs to me.
Who are you guys?
Here's the deal, Queen. You need me.
He's after all of us now. None of us are walking out of here unless we work together.
You gotta be kidding me.
Isn't this fun? It's just like a sleepover. We should order pizza. Big cosmos. Harley, focus. Okay. I'm the one they should be scared of. Not you. Not Mr. J. Because I'm Harley freaking Quinn.
Who's having a good time?
Get ready, ladies. Oh, you're that psycho chick. I never call a woman a chick. I'll accept broad, lady, woman, and on occasion, bitch. Bitch? What are you talking about? That for me, will you?
Alright.
I
like that. I liked it. Me too. Oh, you
Jinx.
do? Yeah.
Jinx. I like that trailer.
Are you
I like
some
the trailer.
wine?
I mean, okay. I mean, there's a lot to unpack here. I mean, well, first of all, it's very colorful,
Yes.
so it's very fun. It
looks fun.
but also gritty. You know,
Yeah,
like
I mean-
there's a lot of color, but there's a lot of grit.
And I
so-
do like the fact that they kind of like stayed in that universe where it's like the universe that Suicide Squad had kind of set. So it looks just like it took place in that world. So I like the continuity that they're playing with.
Of course, yeah. I feel like that's important with a
Oh, absolutely.
franchise, at least with a sequel of this nature.
Yeah.
Obviously, Marvel has sort of branched out, you know, in that way in terms of like visual look and feel
Yeah.
for their different superhero movies, but that's because it's such a huge universe, and
Yeah.
right now we're kind of sticking to
It's kind of like a little
what
small
we know.
pocket.
Yeah,
of
exactly.
the DCEU
Stick to the
or whatever they're
pocket.
still calling it.
Exactly. Yeah, there's so much. I mean, yeah, you're right. Margot Robbie is just so, like, nice to look at. I mean, she's very attractive, but also just there's a lot going on there, and she just looks like she's having fun.
Absolutely.
I don't know. It's just it's very it's magnetic almost. She is on the screen. So that's good to see.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a good hold on this role, even though
Yeah.
she's only played it really once before this.
Yeah.
And I love
We
the
haven't seen a lot of representations of Harley Quinn in the live action
Oh,
sense.
no. It's just been
Have
her.
seen- Yeah, I
No,
don't
and
even
then
know if
I
we've
mean,
seen
and
any.
remember, she wasn't even originally in the comics. She started off in Batman the Animated
Yeah,
Series.
exactly.
And that was supposed to just be a one-off.
Yeah,
But then
people
everybody
love
just
her.
loved her, and
Yeah.
then it just.
It's so funny. Yeah, I mean, it's so funny the way that happened.
Yeah, and then a rumor is she's actually going to be her original Harley Quinn outfit in this movie, which I'm looking forward to. We didn't really get that in the Suicide Squad, so hopefully we're going to get in this, which I love.
Everyone's gonna be like, woo!
Yeah, that's going to be, everybody's going to like nerd out when they see that.
Nerd out.
So I like the idea of her and the Joker breaking up, and then her trying to figure out what
Who am I without
Yeah,
him?
exactly,
Yes,
exactly. And I love, and I
Women, ladies, we've been there. Well, I mean, anyone really. Like, who are you
Yeah.
without your partner, you know, or your boyfriend, girlfriend, like, or just a best friend or your family? Like, who are you without someone else breathing down your neck? Or, you know what I mean? Like, it's really an interesting theme to take on as a character. You don't actually see that too much. You
No,
know?
exactly. And considering like her, because her identity was so wrapped up into the Joker's, now if they're, I'm wondering what I mean, obviously they usually break up because he treats her like garbage. And then at one point, you know, she usually leaves, and then he kind of says some sweet stuff, and she comes back, and it kind of goes back and forth like that. So I'm curious if
not a
we're
great
going to get a
relationship.
little bit of an insight of why she left, or why, I guarantee he didn't really leave, she left. So...
Well, I mean, that's a good point, because also if she's the heroine of this story,
Yeah.
I think it would be a misstep, especially in today's day and age, for her to kind of go back to him, or, you know what I mean? Like, because it's kind of like it's sort of, it seems to me like this is kind of taking hold of the whole female empowerment, like, you know, her trying to find out, like, oh, I am something without him, so maybe I don't need to take him back. But then again, of course, who are they without each other in some capacity?
I mean...
So I just hope that they don't get back together at the end. I'm just saying this based on this one trailer and not having seen Suicide Squad, so forgive me.
Well,
but
you don't have to have seen Suicide Squad to understand the Joker and Harley Quinn's dynamic is beyond that movie.
This is true.
But it wouldn't. Would it surprise me if they got back together? No. Would it surprise me if they stayed separate and maybe she starts? They kind of hint at Poison Ivy and she's kind of going down that road.
That'd be cool.
That wouldn't surprise me either.
Yeah.
Either way, it kind of would fit into the comic book ideas of what she usually does. So neither one would surprise me. If I had to take a guess, I would say she wouldn't go back. Maybe not in this movie.
Yeah, I think that would be a poor choice unless we actually see Joker change in some way,
or
at least in a way that would trick her.
Make
to
some kind of gesture, which he's known to do, and to win her back, and then, mess it up all over again.
I mean, I hope that's not what this movie is about, though.
No.
I hope that's not like, oh, I have to... I mean, I hope it is like a proving herself movie, but I hope the Joker's not really in it, to be honest.
Well, if he is in it, in the third act, I don't want to see him... They could allude to him, obviously, so they do allude to him like she's talking about him in the beginning.
Right.
That's fine, but if he's in it at all, and I'm going to take a guess that he might be, I'm going to say he's going to do a cameo in the third act.
Yeah.
But I think the whole movie is literally just her trying to figure herself out, and then she finds these other women who kind of in a similar situation that she's in. Mm-hmm. They're all trying to go up against Black Mask, who's played by Ewan McGregor, and hijinks ensue. So
who is this Black Mask guy? Like, what is he all about?
So he's usually a Batman villain. So he's kind of a crime boss. He usually wears a skull mask, hence the Black Mask. So he's usually like a Batman villain. So they kind of pulled him away from Batman to put him in this.
Okay.
So I'm curious to see if he wears the mask. I hope he does. So he's kind of really of a gangster type. So that's you're kind of seeing a little bit of the underbelly.
Okay.
And he's kind of one of the crime bosses that are kind of in charge.
Right. So I just want to point out a couple of things that we saw in this trailer. So for one, it opens with her describing what a Harley Quinn is, which is interesting because she obviously is sort of taking that to heart a little bit, and it means something to her. And then we kind of see this shot of what looks like it might be her in like a chapel, almost like some kind of repenting, or I'm not sure if it's her or not. It's really hard to tell because there's like a black veil almost over the character, but it is very it definitely has religious tones to it, which I find really interesting. So I wonder if there's some sort of redemptive quality that she's going to try to latch onto in this film as well.
Yeah, or maybe we could also see some flashbacks of how she kind of became Harley Quinn.
Right.
Without seeing the Joker.
Maybe.
Or just like kind of, because she had a psychotic break when they met in the comics, so she didn't have the best kind of life before that, so we can kind of get a little bit of insight into her before she met the Joker, to why she's the type of person who would go out with or be involved with the Joker. She kind of like flipped he made her do a 180 basically.
Well, yeah, sometimes it's easy to be manipulated when you trust someone.
Exactly, which she did, and she...
Exactly.
And then we get to see, obviously, we're going to see Black Canary. So she has, she's a metahuman. She has powers she does like a canary cry, where she does like a sonic wave blast.
Well, I noticed that the martini glass was shaking, sort of like T-Rex was in town.
Yeah, it's like probably her doing that.
Yeah.
Huntress is the girl on the bike with the arrow. So she's a superhero who kind of plays by her own rules a lot of times. She's usually on the outs with the Justice League because she usually tries to go for vengeance, not justice. Renee Montoya is a cop. So it looked like she got fired, maybe, because she had a box in her hand as she was in the precinct. So maybe she's being dismissed, or she's taking the fall for something. Maybe Black Mask related. Maybe she's going after her and they set her up or something like that. So there's reasons why they're all there. Of
course.
And Black Mask is just the thing that kind of tied them all together, I say.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see, because I really like female cast. You don't get to see like a female cast without, some dude kind of coming in to call the shots. Of course, maybe the villain in this case is that person. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that dynamic, of course. What I also found interesting was there were a couple shots where there's sort of like this diamonds are a girl's best friend, like Marilyn Monroe scene, which seems to be like maybe it's a fantasy sequence or a dream sequence of some sort.
It might be.
Which is interesting because if you've seen the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, no spoilers, but there are some like, you know, scenes where you're not sure what is reality and what might be a dream, what might be fantasy. So, you know, it's just interesting to see this in here.
I mean, but seeing some of the shots from Suicide Squad where, like, at one point they're walking by a jewelry store and Harley Quinn breaks it and she takes the jewelry out. So I mean, it's
diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Yeah, so I mean, it looks like it takes place in that world. I wouldn't mind for it to be a little bit of a fantastical type thing, still looking gritty, having a lot of action, and I do like the idea that the women are just gonna be like, we don't need guys. Fuck them.
We'll kick a butt.
And then just do whatever they do. And I'm just wondering where this movie is going to go, because the movies that DC has lined up is obviously we're getting Wonder Woman 1984 that's coming out later next year as well.
Forgot about that. Yeah.
We're getting the Batman. We're getting Aquaman 2. I'm not sure. There's rumors. Obviously, there's a lot of rumors that Harley Quinn and Joker are going to get their own movie. There's a rumor that Joker's going to get his own movie. There's a lot of spinning plates going around, and I'm not sure where they're going to go next.
Right.
If this movie does well, I'm wondering if it's going to impact any of their decisions about Harley Quinn and Joker, or maybe the other characters in Birds of Prey going forward.
Right.
Also, if this movie also does well, I wonder if it impacts Marvel's decision in making an all-female superhero movie, which a lot of the females have been pushing really hard. Like Brie Larson is literally went up to Kevin Feige and like, I want to do this.
Ready, let's go.
And Scarlett Johansson been pushing like, even if I'm not in it, I want this to happen. So obviously there's a lot of male fans that aren't necessarily wanting that to happen. Don't know why. Don't you want to see women
get over yourself? Yeah,
get over yourselves a little bit. You're gonna watch it anyway. You're gonna hate watch it. So I don't know why you don't want to see it, because you're gonna see it anyway. So I'm hoping that if Marvel doesn't need DC's help in deciding that kind of thing, but
it would be interesting.
But it's just another thing that they can come to Kevin Feige and people like Disney, look at this. Like it's an option. Just like how Wonder Woman kind of pushed, whether you like it or not, pushed the numbers for Captain Marvel, and going forward, and probably Wonder Woman 1984, which I'm looking forward to the first trailer of that, will do well because those movies have done well.
Yes.
And before you know, it's become normal, not just a thing that we feel like we need to do to get more representation. Hopefully, at some point, it's just a thing. It's not a thing.
Love it. You're on my side, Sean.
Yeah.
For women everywhere.
Well, just diversity.
Sean Baritone.
Yeah, I just like the idea of everybody seeing something that they can identify with.
Of course.
I don't understand why other people, especially a lot of males, guys out there, and you can put in the comments why you feel like there shouldn't be an all-female-led movie. Because some people are like, oh, it's forced, they haven't deserved it. Why do you feel that way?
Sometimes it does feel forced, and that does annoy me when it feels like, oh, I see why you're doing this. But you can redeem yourself if it's a good movie.
Yeah.
But if it does feel like, all right, I mean, nice try, I guess. Yeah. But if it isn't genuine, and like you said, maybe someday we'll get to the point where you don't even think that. It's just like, oh, here's good or bad. Here's another movie, with a diverse cast, whatever. Yeah,
but I don't feel this movie is forced because everybody loved Harley Quinn.
Right.
Obviously, Wonder Woman's her own thing, and Captain Marvel's her own thing.
And the Birds of Prey are already a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing, so it's not like they've made up a thing to put them all together. Like, if you want to give it a good example of something being forced, was like Ghostbusters 2016, where that felt a little forced. It's like you're trying to make them their own thing, but then you lean on
the Ghostbusters name?
You lean on the men's version so hard that felt forced.
Yeah, they could have done a different movie with the. I hear you.
Yeah,
that's
so something like that I get, but this or anything that else they're trying to do doesn't feel forced to me. It just feels like a natural progression. But that's what we think. What do you guys think? So, comment below.
Yes.
Also, like, subscribe, and share. Do all those great things. So, when the next trailer for Birds of Prey comes out with that really ridiculous long title, I don't know why they did
the
that.
Fabulotansis Emancipation
of one Harley Quinn.
Fabtastic. I don't know.
You could have just said Birds of Prey with Harley Quinn, or Harley Quinn and Birds of Prey.
But you can hear the title in her voice though.
Yeah,
so it makes a little bit of sense.
It wouldn't surprise me if the
and
title.
the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. You
Yes.
know, like you can kind of hear it, like her saying it that
Your
way.
Harley
so.
Quinn's not that bad. It's pretty good.
Thank you, Mr. J.
I knew you were about to say that. So what do you guys think? Comment below. Do you like the idea of a Birds of Prey movie with Harley Quinn? Are you excited to see all the other Arkham DC characters, Gotham characters in this? Do you want them to allude to Batman? Because he is out. He's in that universe. Do you want him to allude to Joker? Do you want to see the Joker? I kind of want to see him. Anyway, let us know what you think, and then when the next trailer comes out, we'll do that, and we'll definitely do a review of the movie when it comes out February of next year.
Next year.
But until then, I'm Sean.
I'm Alex.
Bye, guys.